So, big event right around the corner, and familiar face, but not familiar to fight fans. But he's going to be on Saturday night, and that is HERSCHEL WALKER joins us here. So we talked back in San Jose, and at the time you said, hey, we're going to see what happens. We're going to see if I'm ready. And obviously they told you about after 6 more weeks of working that you were ready.
Yes, they did, and that was very important because this is a very, very difficult sport. It's a very demanding sport, and I was working at AKA with a lot of good fighters there, and it's important for me to get there. They're okay, and my trainer's okay because I can love this sport, I can want to do it, but maybe I'm not ready. And if I'm not ready, I got to swallow my pride and not do it. And I got the okay from them, and that's the reason I feel pretty good right now.
So was there any moment during the training camp where they're like, listen, HERSCHEL, this isn't coming fast enough. You got to do this, this, and this. We got to pull it together. Or did it go pretty smoothly?
Well, there's no doubt, because this is a tough sport. When you're out there working with true fighters, it's going to come tough. And I think Javier, that AKA, he's got to question. You got to question me. No matter what type of athlete I am, he know you can get hurt at this sport here. So you had to see what I can do. And the first couple of weeks, it was slow. It was very slow. And as we went on down as days passed, weeks passed, it got better and better, and things started coming a little bit easier. And they saw that there was some potential out there. But one thing that was great about this is I'm not going in there trying to fight a champion. I'm not going in there trying to fight someone that's been doing it for 6 years. I'm going in there fighting someone that's coming out like myself. He's young. He's trying to become a great MMA fighter like myself, and I think that's what we're going to put for a good fight.
When was the last time that you had any issues with confidence, or a coach told you, you know what, you are not getting the job done? 'Cause, you're such a great natural athlete, and things went so well as a football player. So can you remember the last time where you had a little doubt?
Well, it's been a long time. I've been very lucky in my life, but when you are going to step into a new arena and step into MMA, I think even though I love it, I've loved MMA for a long time, but this is a very serious sport. It's a sport that I have loved for a long, long time, and it's something you're stepping into a totally different arena. So I knew then that there could be a lot of questions out there, and there's no doubt there's still questions in a lot of people's minds, because if they know about MMA, they know it's something serious. It's not a joke. It's not a circus out there that you can get injured. So you got to question that, and that's the reason why I feel great now, because I've been around the best. I think AKA is one of the best MMA gyms in the world, not just in the United States, but in the world, and I think they got some of the best fighters there. So I think I've had the help from some of the great trainers and some of the best fighters there.
So it's 2 days before the fight. Going back to your football career, does this feel like, hey, it's a couple of days before the Sugar Bowl, it's a couple of days before a huge game in the USFL or NFL, or is it totally different?
I think it's totally different. I think, it's normally as a team sport where you have all the team around you, guys are doing things. And, what's so strange about it is I think sometimes the guys may make you nervous. Because you may see the nervousness of them, they may make you nervous. But I think what's great about this here is right now I'm not nervous at all.
Yeah.
And I said maybe when I get into that locker room before I go out, that's when the nerves may hit. But yeah, I think because I have confidence in my gym, I have confidence in the people I've been working with, I think they put me at ease a little bit. They put me at ease, and I know it's going to be a fight. There's no doubt it's going to be a fight because Greg has been working like I have, so he's going to be ready to go in there and try to take advantage of me. So I got to do it in return.
I was going to say, back to the training camp for a second. I don't know, can anyone really intimidate you as a coach or a boss after working for Donald Trump?
There's no doubt. Yeah, there's some guys in the gym that can intimidate me a lot worse than Donald. Donald is a guy who he talks the game, but he don't go out and he's not punching you in the face or anything. But there's some guys in the gym that if I don't keep that hand up, I will get punched in the face.
So earlier I saw you meet with your opponent, Greg. What was that like? Do you sense any intimidation? Because it's a different kind of intimidation if there was, because it may not be as a fighter. It may be, hey, I'm meeting HERSCHEL WALKER. I'm 26 years old. This guy's an NFL legend.
Well, there was no intimidation. He kept saying yes, sir, and no, sir. Yeah. And I kept wanting to say, Greg, don't say yes, sir, and no, sir. You're going to make me like I'm your dad or something. Don't say that to him. But, it wasn't. It's great to meet your opponent sometime. And I think he knows that when they close that door and it latch, that it's just he and I in that cage. And that's when the competition starts.
On the subject of intimidation, have you ever been around another athlete? Are there fighters who intimidate you, or was there a legend of football that you met in the past, maybe when you were a young guy, have you ever been in awe of someone?
I don't think I've ever been odd. Yeah, I don't think intimidated. I think I've been an odd. I met Muhammad Ali one time. I was at odd at him because of the great athleticism that he had, the great champion he was years ago. But I don't think there's been anyone that ever intimidated me. I know that everyone is good at what they do, and everyone has their skills, and I have a little bit of skills, but I don't think there's anyone that's ever just intimidated me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's something special with certain level athletes. Where you can feel it. I'll give you one guy, and I mean, I get to interview a lot of athletes over the years. One guy that I remember where I was like, that's Jim Brown. There's something about Jim where you're like, okay, yes. That's a big-time athlete.
Well, he is. And Jim, he did things before, when there was a lot of race problem going on. So, you have people like that they got to be very strong will, very strong mentally. Those are the guys that laid the groundwork for myself. So that's why I said Muhammad Ali. When Muhammad Ali decided that he didn't want to go to the military, he made a statement there that I try to tell kids all the time. Sometimes you got to make a statement that you believe in. You don't have to go along with the crowd. That's the reason that a lot of problems happen is when people want to go along with the crowd. But, he made a statement, and he made us know that this world here is built that we all have a voice, that we all have a voice that we can use it.
And the last thing we should mention, you have done a ton of media, and that's part of the reason Strikeforce wanted the relationship, not only to help to see if you could fight, live out a dream, but they knew this would be a big hit. What's it like a couple of days before the fight, where it's like interview after interview after interview? Because it's got to be different than football. There are some nerves. I mean, you're getting to the point where you're like, all right, that's enough.
Well, it's sort of embarrassing a little bit because, there's other guys on the card, and not just other guys, but two young women that's going to fight, and, they've earned their stripes to have their names mentioned as well. It's not just the HERSCHEL WALKER show. You have the Nick Diaz, the Chris Cyborg, the Bobby Lashley, the Robert Lawler, Joe Riggs. You have all those guys that have been fighting for a long time that deserve to have their name mentioned, and that's why it's a little bit embarrassing. And I just hope that my name can boost this sport a little bit to get more people to come out and watch it and get more people to like it, because I think this could be an Olympic sport. I think it can really be an Olympic sport, and if we can get more people recognizing it, I think we can make that happen.
Well, good deal. You're doing a good thing for the sport, and I know after seeing all these interviews, and then everyone knows what a good guy you are. There's a lot of people rooting for you in this fight.
Well, and I hope they are, because I said I got to go out there and do my thing. I want to make them proud. I want to make my gym proud, and all the people that have worked with me, and just make the people proud and let them know that this is something I love.